Hey everybody, getting alive out here, but we're gonna quick plant some peppers. I got some holes dug over here. And all I've got at the moment is homemade worm castings. I'm going to throw like a good palm size handful in each of the holes. Um, you can also use a few other things if you got some blood meal around, and bone meal would work too. Any of that kind of stuff you can throw in there. Um, right now, on this spot, I don't have it right now, so I just want to really get the good microbes in the hole for the peppers to inhabit. Um, that's about it. I have not, or I have prepared them against cutworms with some aluminum foil. You can watch how to do that on my other video. I'm going to start with planting the hot peppers. Uh, we have a wind that comes out of the west here, and east is that way. So apparently, people say that um, your plants can get cross pollinated and your sweet peppers can turn hot if you don't do this. I haven't experienced that yet, but we're just going to keep going with what works. I've also picked off the top off of all of them, and any blossoms I see, any buds, I want the plant material to grow right now, and I don't want it to have to focus on making any fruit or vegetable or whatever material right now. So you can see, got tinfoil wrapped around there. Um, going to start with the Tabascos. That's this one right here. Then I'm going with the red chili and the super cayenne. We're going to go with bananas, hot banana. Four holes down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Habanero, jalapeno, and then pour the sweet peas. So 1, 2, 4. We still have 6 holes left, so I got a few other things I can stick there. Some eggplant. I'm gonna use gloves when I'm handling and shoving my hands in with these microbes. Same thing with blood meal, bone meal. It doesn't stink, but you don't want to get that stuff in any cuts. But you can see right there, it's good stuff. We're just gonna take, maybe a good sized handful and put it in each hole. If it's clumpy, I'm gonna break it up a little. That way, when the roots go in there, they're going into some nice, good microbes. At the moment, I've got a whole tote full of nightcrawler castings. So I'm going to be using them in everything I possibly can, and then reusing them in top dressings. That's our base for our compost tea is going to be our nightcrawler castings. With whatever I have left now, I might go right over top of them tomatoes that we have there and do a top dress and kind of scratch them in a little bit. Or I'll go find something else. This is going to go pretty fast, so I'll find something else to plant, and then we'll put them in those holes. So, and then after that, I'm going to be top dressing it with top dressing these holes here, the peppers, with grass clippings. So mulching it with grass clippings around the area where the reservoir is. That's where I'm gonna be concentrating on, and then later on in the season, as I get more clippings, I'll fill in the rest of the row with the grass clippings. But right now, we're gonna deal with just right in the immediate area around the plant. So all we're doing really is we're gonna pop this out of here, see what the root condition is like. Okay, that's pretty much perfect roots for doing what we're doing here. We don't really have to break it up at all. If we did, we'd probably damage some stuff. It's really wet. So I'm just going to set it down the hole, bury it around it, and then pack it down a little bit, and then off to the next one. So this is basically what it looks like. And then let me start this row by saying a little message I like to bring to every show. If you're 45 or older, please call your doctor and schedule a colonoscopy. Don't wait until it's too late. So, oops, there's our tin foil right at the surface of the ground there. Those cutworms like to go right at the surface of the ground and cut your plant right off. You'll get here in the morning and it'll just be tipped over. That's what it looks like in the hole of the compost, or the worm castings. Vermicompost, they call it. There's our row. And here's tomatoes. The dog was in here just a minute ago and he ran over a couple of tomatoes, but they'll be all right. Looking good. These were planted last week, so they've grown twice their size in a week, so that's good. These were planted the day before that. Actually, it hasn't quite been a week. 6 days, so I'm pretty happy. They were planted with a handful of bone meal and some biochar that I made with a handful or a palmful of nightcrawler castings. And then it was top dressed with grass clippings. And then I made a compost tea and a fermented plant juice. And they've been hit with both of those. Both will go in the grass clippings, the fermented plant juice and the compost tea. And the compost tea, when it was fresh, was sprayed on the leaves. You can still spray it after that on the leaves, but I wouldn't spray anything that isn't fresh. And I wouldn't spray a fermented plant juice on your actual vegetables. Compost tea, I would stay away from the actual fruit so much. but it really wouldn't harm it so much. And especially if it's like tomatoes and it's really green and you're going to be washing them and they got to ripen yet, there really ain't no problem as long as they're activated aerated compost teas. That's actually a protector of a lot of things. We're going to see how we can do with that fighting pumpkin powdery mildew. All right. So the first one was Tabasco's. Second one is a Thai red chili. Roots are the same in this one. We're going to scratch that nightcrawler castings in there. Set it down the bottom of the hole. Fill in the hole. Pack it down and then make a reservoir. The ground is sloped here, so a reservoir is pretty easy. You only have to have one side really to it. And then we've got our super chili. All these must have been planted on the same day because they got all the same roots. Buried in, pack it down. And build your reservoir. Be able to do this standing up and bending over thanks to brand new hips that I've received over the last 2 years. Did a lot of manual labor, hard, heavy lifting. Look at that, I got a wood tick on my sock. Hold on, hold everything. Let's see where little bastards. No wood ticks were harmed in the making of this video. Die! Goodbye. Sayonara. Hey. All right, let's get back on track, Jack. Habanero. Oh, no, we're back over here. What did I say we had? Oh, sweet banana. Scratch it in. Reservoir. Pick some weeds. Boom. Scratch it in. Bury it. Pick some weeds. Reservoir. Scratch it in. Put 'em in. Bury it. Make sure that tin foil is exposed but connected to the ground. Reservoir. Anybody that watches this just had a good show watching All That's Green today. She had a good guest on with a bunch of plants. Check it out. That's All That's Green on YouTube. How's everybody doing tonight? Beautiful day we had today. Hopefully you can hear me still. These 4-packs tend to come out easier all at one time, and then just pull them apart, scratch it in, bury it, pack it down, build a reservoir. So, the new hips provided by Fairview U of M hospitals and flexibility provided by Forest Lake Ranger Wrestling. That's what we got here. Pull that rope up and they'll be able to stand straight. That's the linden tree. That's the one that makes the mint or spearmint flavored honey. Very beautiful tree. This thing blooms usually the last week or so of June and then into the first or second week of July. And this thing, the Romans or the Latin or whatever, they used to call that the tree of life because of all the bees and birds and shit that goes in that tree. When you walk by it when they're in bloom, all different kinds of bees are in it. But I've got a beehive this year. I've had several beehives, but this year I'm taking on one. That bee or that tree will be alive. You walk up to it, you'll hear it buzzing like crazy. But yeah, look up linden or basswood honey. It's different than any other kind. It's special. I don't know if you can see the sunset. It's invisible on here for some reason, but very pink sun right now. We got the smoke coming in from my friends in Canada. That's all right. It happens. Uh, anyways, that's about it. It's warm out. I'm gonna go get cleaned up. That was very quick. Probably 30 minutes or so. 21 minutes and 50 seconds. Quick look at the whole garden here. So the far stuff is raspberries, and then you got 2 rows of strawberries. This is going to be 2 rows of peppers. Then right here in front of me here is going to be probably some squash or zucchini and eggplant. And then over here is going to be, before that trellis there, this whole empty spot between that raised bed and that trellis there is going to be corn. It'll probably be 400, 4, I couldn't even tell you. One year it's a lot, and then the next year it seems like it's less, but depending on what the weather's like, I guess. Last year we didn't get barely any. And when we did, we got like 12 ears. All right. Thanks everybody that checks this out. Hey, how's it going? Give you a quick look if you want to check it out. Here's the green pepper row that I just planted. There's 2 rows of tomatoes. Eventually I'll get the rows here tilled, but right now it's just refreshing the nitrogen in the ground, let that grow up a bit, till it up, and then next year I'll plant my rows on top of that. So it works out pretty good. You know what I mean? How's it going? That's going to be pumpkins over there. Here, I'll show you that. I'm going to try this first time. I have a kind of a makeshift hugelkultur made out of like firewood, oak firewood, and grass clippings and potting soil that I made, homemade potting soil. Leaf mulch, leaf mold mulch. There's going to be a few mosquitoes in there, but yeah, I amended it with mosquito frass, homemade rock dust, blood meal, bone meal, top dressed it with fermented plant juice that I made and compost teas that I made. If you need a recipe for any of those, there's videos about them. These seeds are from 500-pound pumpkins, so I hope to come close to that. I can take seeds from a 200-pounder and grow a 200-pounder, so it shouldn't be any harder. And this isn't the only hole. This is an experimental hole. The other ones are right here and over there. And I got 2 on standby in case I need a couple, and one especially in case that thing craps out. But right now it looks like it's doing amazing. That was in a pot in the hole for like 3 days. And then last night it was completely dry. So I took it out of the pot, buried it in the mound, and then I think I took some fermented plant juice and some compost tea, probably a cup of each, and then a gallon of water, and then watered that whole thing in, and then gave these a little shot too. But these are in the ground, they shouldn't need it. But then that grew like probably doubled in size overnight. So perfect. We got some more biochar getting made right now, just a like a single batch that is, I don't know, when I mix it with my worm castings, it'll come up to like maybe half of a 5-gallon pail full. But that right now is my biochar being activated in leaf mulch and urea, pine needles, grass clippings, and then I threw some bone meal, blood meal, Epsom salt, a handful of Epsom salt for magnesium. Yeah, I don't know. Here's our potatoes and our cauliflower. But our cauliflower looks like it's doing pretty crappy. Something came in here and ate it. I got 2 cauliflower out of 8 left. Interesting. I wonder what the heck that was. Rabbits. Oh, shoot. I didn't think about them. Oh, because they do get in here. We do have a fence, but they do make it in. Dang it. Well, might as well let him eat the other 2 too. Usually I don't have a whole lot of issues with them, but I bet because everything's not tilled up, they're able to hide in here and they feel safe, so they're able to forage. That's upsetting, but that's part of it. At least they're staying away from my cannabis garden. I did catch 3 deer dropping by the other day. You'll see there's a video with that. You'll see there's a buck in the one video, and I didn't catch the other 2 does on camera, but I did hear them and I could see them myself, but I didn't get them on camera. They were too far away or, blocked by something or whatever. But yeah, that's about it. I'm glad I got these in the ground. I got probably 28 more to go. Those will all be bell peppers. Bell peppers. What else? Actually, it's like 5 different kinds of quote unquote bell peppers. Then some sweet bananas, some Cubanelle peppers. I think most of them are the bells. So when I pick these, then the bell peppers, most of those will be frozen until I get enough bags. It's like half a freezer full of peppers. I'll freeze the bells, the Cubanelles, and probably some bananas, and then all the rest of them, whether they're hot or not, will be either dried out in the dehydrator or hung in the plant to dry out, or picked off the plant and put in a paper bag and stuck up in my attic in the garage and let them dry out there. And then I grind them up and make them into a pepper flake. And people love it. It's really good and hot, but it has amazing flavor. Yeah, anyways, I think I've had enough. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope everybody's got something to smoke on tonight. If they're smoking on something or drinking on something or whatever they need to do. Peace out. I appreciate watching. Thanks everybody.